Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna, or Simplicity Gaming here on YouTube, and there's actually been some big Sims news that I wanted to discuss. So recently it was the 10th anniversary of The Sims 4, and EA released this post that was called "The Future is Plumbob Green." This post went through a variety of things, but probably the most notable thing that they mentioned was that The Sims 5 is not in development and likely not going to happen. Now, I noticed a lot of Simmers aren't particularly surprised by this. I really wasn't particularly surprised by it either. The Sims 4 has been around a lot longer than any of the other Sims iterations, so I think a lot of us just kind of assumed that to be the case. But it does kind of leave you with some mixed feelings, right? The news, however, did get me thinking. I was like, dang, The Sims 4 has been out for 10 years? Like, I graduated high school in that time, went to college, graduated college, and have been working since it's been released. So I kind of wanted to talk about what I think of the game now, as someone who didn't particularly like the game when it first came out. So I've actually been a huge fan of the Sims franchise. My first game was The Sims 3. I was in high school when I discovered The Sims 3, and I remember spending all my babysitting money on that game. I even got some of the store content, which was like, yikes now in hindsight. But I just loved the game so much, and the packs added so much content. It always felt worth it to me. I would play hours, days, weeks of playing that game. So I'd always get hundreds of hours worth of gameplay out of The Sims 3 content. Now flash forward to The Sims 4, and I'm sure you can imagine I was super excited about the game's release. Back then, I remember getting the base game, and then shortly after we got Spooky Stuff, Outdoor Treat, and Cool Kitchen. These were some of the only packs that they released for the game at the time, and keep in mind that the base game back then was not free. If memory serves me right, it was about like $60, I think. So even for the limited amount of packs that we had at the time, we were already up to almost like $100 worth of Sims 4 content. I remember actually crying when I got Cool Kitchen, and it wasn't for a good reason. I was just really upset because there was just so little content in them comparatively to what we would get for other Sims packs. Even the base game just felt really flat. It was back when the game released with no pools, no ghosts, your infant aged up into an 8-year-old. There's probably a million other things that I already forgot about at this point. So a lot of the community just felt like the game seemed rushed and unfinished at launch. Now I know there's a lot of mixed opinions about The Sims 4, and there are still a lot of mixed opinions about The Sims 4. And unfortunately, I was just one of those Sims players that the game just didn't really appeal to back in the day. Now I would still play, right? Like a little bit on and off, and then kind of go periods without touching the game for a while. But I'd always end up coming back to kind of take a look to see what the packs are, any changes. Like, there was always that hope. I'd get the packs on sale, kind of play for a bit, and then it just kind of phased out, and it was just always like a rinse and repeat kind of cycle. I think it was around the time when this pack came out, and I was just kind of like done with The Sims 4. I kid you not, I haven't really played the game until like fairly recently, like within the last year or so. It was around the time when the Infant update came out. I was so out of the loop about what was going on with the game, you guys. Like, I didn't even know infants were a thing. So that was exciting. A really exciting surprise. I've actually been playing a lot more since then, and dare I say, I'm actually pretty impressed with what the Sims team has done with the game over the last couple of years. The Sims 4 certainly still has plenty of flaws, but I feel like the team has actually worked really hard on improving the gameplay experience. They've been focusing a lot more on things like relationship dynamics with some of the packs, and even added story progression, like stuff we've been asking for a really long time. So I did want to acknowledge that as being the main reason why I've returned to the franchise. I've actually really been enjoying the game now, which is not something that I could have said when the game first came out. Because I took such a big hiatus from the game, it really feels like I haven't explored much of The Sims 4. It makes me really want to go back and kind of revisit things. I want to play classic Sims challenges and legacies, and just kind of get excited for The Sims 4 news and pack releases again. As a player who didn't particularly like The Sims 4 when it first came out, I think the game has come a long way in just like the past couple years to improve its gameplay experience, in my opinion. I'm actually really happy that they're taking their time to focus on The Sims 4 rather than moving on to another game or iteration of the series. It's like a factory reset, right? Whenever they make a new Sims game and you have to kind of like get all the packs again, etc., etc. So these games are expensive. Even if you're getting the content on sale, like they're still expensive comparatively to other games. So I think that it's pretty nice that they want to focus on making the singular game better rather than just kind of like tossing it aside, and I appreciate that a lot. At the same time, though, I know they're not going to stop adding content for The Sims 4, so that definitely leaves me with a lot of questions and concerns. Now, I don't know anything about making games, but it just kind of makes sense to me that you can't add content indefinitely. So I don't know how far they plan on pushing The Sims 4, and that's probably my primary concern. Like, won't the content eventually break the game? Especially with the history of The Sims 3, where they made a final patch actually recommending to limit the amount of packs because of all the technical issues having all the packs cost. So that's probably my primary concern when it comes to the news of No Sims 5. I am curious to know what you guys think though, so let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.